One thing queer, one thing queer, one thing queer. Let's get one thing queer. Let's get one thing queer.
Hello and welcome to One Thing Queer. My name's Jenny Baton and my pronouns are they, them.
And I'm Kelsey Wren and my pronouns are she, her.
Hello, my friend.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm delightful.
Delightful with your mango cart.
With my mango cart.
It matches your hat.
Oh, it does match my hat.
And kind of your shirt because the green matches your shirt.
Oh my god, I'm so monochromatic. Oh my god.
Yeah, you're already on a vacation.
Oh yeah, I'm going to Mexico next week.
Nice.
So exciting. I'm gonna go for a few days. Go visit my grandma in Mexico. They have kind of like a names day. So her name is Candelaria. So
Ooh.
there's a day dedicated to anybody who has that name.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really freaking cool.
Yeah. So it's almost like even more exciting than their birthday, I guess.
Oh, wow.
But we're also going to go. She's a Capricorn queen. Yeah.
Do you know her moon?
I don't know her moon. I'm gonna get her chart. I'm gonna try to get her chart when I go to Mexico.
Very cool.
But both my grandmas are Capricorns.
Really?
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Very interesting. I
Wow.
was like, wow. And my grandpa was also a Capricorn.
Really?
My dad's dad.
So much earth.
Very much a lot of earth. And then my dad's a Virgo, so yeah, very much earth.
Oh, yeah, a lot of earth. I mean, I always hear that too. That like Capricorns are like one of the least amount of signs, kind of.
Really?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me because I would think we were having this conversation the other day in a terrible environment, I guess. I don't know if you should be really talking about this at work, but we were talking about like what kind of baby were you? Like when were you conceived?
Oh my gosh.
So I think it would be like Valentine's Day. Something. Is that too short?
I think so. I think what Valentine's Day equates to Scorpios.
Does it?
That's why people are like, don't fuck on Valentine's Day because we don't need any more Scorpios, which I agree with this
second
message. We don't need any more Scorpios.
Jenny approved message.
Jenny approved message. Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
I guess it wouldn't be. Would have St. Patrick's Day? I've never had a child. I don't know how this works.
I don't know. I don't know how to do math.
Anyways, but we were talking about that.
It's so funny you mentioned that because I was at a job a few weeks ago and the photographer was talking about how we were talking about astrology, but then he's like, my friend had this other concept of the type of person that you are depending on the position in which you were conceived.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, so I forgot what he said, but it was like, oh, if you're conceived doggy style, you are this type of personality. I don't know how accurate that is.
That's called astrology, my friend. You should have been like, what's your sun sign?
I think he was a Taurus.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm like, what's his moon sign?
Yeah. Oh, no. He was a Gemini.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he had a Gemini Mars too, they could be vulgar. Their jokes are very vulgar.
I am very vulgar.
But you're on Gemini Mars.
But I'm not a Gemini Mars. That's an
Aries. I think that's your Aries.
Yeah, but my Mars is in Cancer, so what does that mean?
That's your quirk.
I know, but like when it comes to sex and aggression.
Oh. Oof.
What would that mean?
I don't know. I haven't got that far yet.
Very emotional. I cry during sex. I don't know. I don't, but
I don't know.
I don't know.
You're very, I would assume you're very nurturing because cancers are very like the mother nurturing energy.
I can see that.
Yeah. All right then. I'm going to have to ask somebody about that.
Anyways, how was your week?
It was cool. Oh my God. So we had Seta and Bernie on last week.
Yes.
I hope y'all enjoyed that because those Scorpio moons were...
Fill in all the feels.
Oh my God. Filling all the feels. It was funny because you and I actually had a conversation with Seta before. Like it was just us chatting.
Yeah.
And I was on the way home. I was telling Bernie, I was like, oh my God. Literally everything that he says came out of her mouth. Mm-hmm. And it was wild. I'm pretty sure I said this last week too on the episode. But... yeah, it was just like he had the same experience with me and Sandy because what I say came out of Sandy's mouth, basically. But it was just fun to see them, like, I don't know, not fun because I know they like have a hard time with it, but it was nice to see them both not feel crazy anymore.
Yeah, like feeling seen
and validated. Yeah, that was really good. But it was really fun talk. Yeah,
it was a very fun talk.
That was cool.
Thank you, other friend, for coming on. Yeah, it was a really fun episode. I didn't talk very much, but I was just enjoying the
conversation.
The conversation.
I feel like we talked a lot, actually. More than I thought we were going to talk.
You did talk a lot. But
rude.
all three of you talked a lot. I was just like, and then I chimed in for like a few sentences, a few paragraphs, and then I was just back to just, intro, outro. Just there for the looks.
Really? I was like, because we were both like, oh yeah, we're not going to say a word during this.
Yeah.
But I think we said more than we thought anyways.
I don't know. I have yet to edit it. So
okay.
We shall see.
Gotcha. But yeah, so that was fun. Not so fun. My car is like dead.
Yeah.
So I haven't had a car. Once this comes out, I'll probably have my car. But I haven't had a car since last Thursday, and it's I haven't had it for almost 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
It really sucks.
Yeah. So the reason we missed a couple weeks ago was because
I didn't have a car.
Yeah. Life happens, y'all. But we try to pull through every week.
Definitely.
Life happens. I know y'all understand.
Yeah, definitely. So hopefully it's getting fixed soon. But it was a pretty penny. It's gonna be a pretty penny.
Yeah.
To fix, and that's a little heartbreaking. But I mean,
money comes and goes, friend.
It does.
You got money coming this year.
It is what it is.
The card said.
Yeah, it's fine. I was really upset about it actually at first, and then I was like, oh, like okay, I guess I'm cool. Also, like within a span of 2 days, so that, and then the news I had, the news I had was I thought I was going to get a job, but that did not happen. A different job.
But that just means it wasn't meant for you, and something better's coming.
Exactly. And it was funny because the next morning after that interview, I had, you know how you get like on your phone, like, what are they called? Horoscopes. And basically it was like, you dodged a bullet. And I was like, okay. I know it's just like Instagram, but like that really said something to me. So I was like, maybe I didn't get it because I think I'm supposed to dodge this bullet.
Yeah.
So that's fine with me. And I was trying to be optimistic about it because I wanted it, but yeah, it seems like I probably did dodge it. So
I mean, from what you had told me about, like the way you told me, I was hopeful that it was going to be good. But then at the same time, like,
yeah,
there were some things that you were telling me, and I was like, this sounds a little weird.
Yeah.
And it feels like
Bernie said the same thing.
The guidance isn't going to be clear.
Yeah, Bernie said the same thing. He was like, you've kind of already been through this kind of predicament, and like, do you really want to do this again kind of thing? And I was like, yeah, I guess so. But so that happened, and the next day my car crapped out. So, and I did my crying already. But like, it'll be okay. It'll be fine. My car's gonna be fine. We're feeling better. I finally know what's happening with my car. So yeah, that was my week.
Okay, I love that for you.
Oh, and Bernie finally got to see your place too. So that was fun.
That was fun.
That was fun.
I'm really happy you guys came, and he got to check my place out and meet Seta finally. I have a little announcement.
Oh my God, what?
So this Saturday, actually, February 11th, there's going to be a little market, which I'm going to be vending at. It's called Brujita Market, and it's going to be at 411 South Hewitt Street in Los Angeles, California. And it's going to be from 12 to 5, and I'm going to be there, and there's going to be a bunch of like witchy vendors there. There's going to be like healers, tarot card readers, jewelry makers, vegan dessert makers, like all, like we have plus, like I think we have 60 plus vendors
that
are going to be there that day. And I'm going to be there, and it's my first time vending, so come see me.
Adorable.
I'm going to be doing a little raffle. So I'm going to be raffling a tarot card reading and a Reiki session. So
you're so funny, friend. You never fail to do it 100%. Like, never fail.
I'm so excited.
I know, I bet. It sounds so exciting.
Yeah. So come see me.
Yeah, go see Jenny.
It's going to be at the Arts District, so come check it out.
Yeah, get a Reiki session. Or book one for the future.
Yeah, book one for the future. Book a little package. I'm going to work on some other package deals that combines Reiki and tarot, so.
Get a sticker.
Yes, I made stickers. Come get a little protection mist that I made. And yeah, there's just going to be a lot of really cool people there. So
I've been using mine all week, and it smells amazing.
Thanks.
It feels really nice. I forgot today, and today I was having a bad day, so I was like, that's why I forgot today. I have no protection today. I didn't set myself up.
Magic is real, y'all. So come get your goods.
Yeah. How fun.
Yeah, and there's some other exciting things I want to share, but I can't really share them technically until it comes out. But I guess I'll say a little bit about it. I'm going to be featured in a little YouTube channel that y'all may know. And yeah, I was a part of it, and it has to do with being queer. So that's going to be coming out sometime in March or April. So once it comes out, I will let y'all know, and it'll be in the description. So make sure you keep ear out for that and listen every week, and I'll update y'all.
So exciting.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like shameless plugging left and right. I feel like such an Aries right now. But
I love it.
a lot
That's
of
cool.
stuff happening.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. I guess that concludes. What are we talking about today, friend?
Oh, we were gonna kind of wing a new topic.
Yes.
We're gonna talk about the effects of social media on LGBTQIA plus people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought of this topic on my way here. We were trying to, I'm trying to be on top of stuff, and it's been a crazy week. But I was like, I'm gonna Google. Literally, I'm very on brand for me. On my way here, and yeah, I just like saw it on Google. I'm like, well, we have we've graced over this subject before, but ultimately, like, social media has been the reason why we came out, like for both you and me.
Yeah.
TikTok has a lot to do with it.
That TikTok.
And yeah, I just thought I'd share like our opinions and our thoughts on like how it's affected our community as a whole.
Yeah.
And personally for both of us.
Definitely. Yeah. How do you think it's you want to go first? Because you were saying you think it's all good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. I'll talk about like the good, I guess. I think the good is awareness. First and foremost, I think that is the bread and butter of like what helped me come out was just like being aware, and seeing people like yourself can really help you self-reflect, I think, and ask yourself questions, and also educating yourself when it comes to terms, when it comes to identities, when it comes to sexualities. I feel like a lot of people sometimes get lost when obviously like you don't know what something means. For instance, like when I first heard about non-binary people, when I first heard about it, it was so intriguing, but it did take me a minute to really get the grasp and understand it. But once I did understand it, I really saw myself in it and really identified with what it meant, especially becoming spiritual. I identified with it even more so. So I don't think it's a coincidence that I like came out as gay, and then a year later I came out as non-binary, and like a year before that I had started my awakening, and really the way I saw life, the way I saw humanity, the way I saw me as a soul, it really helped me understand how I had felt before, because I always felt like more than just what people put me in a box of, or I don't know
Like how people perceived you?
Yeah, I always felt like more than what people perceived me as, I guess. Lack of a better word. I don't want to say more in the sense of like, oh, I'm worth more, but more of like, there's more to me than just being a so-called woman. There's more to me than being someone who, looks the way I do. And so I think in that sense, it has really helped the youth. I think it's really helped younger generations really learn things that, I hadn't learned until I was older. Now people have the access to learning about all the different types of people that there are in the world, and all the different types of identities there are in the world, and sexualities, and like we touched on the whole concept of like what is bi, what is pan, and what is the difference between it, and like how you identify. And ultimately it's really up to you if you do decide to put yourself in a so-called box or a label, and you don't always have to either.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes, I mean, we're human beings. We're bound to change and evolve and have different opinions or different desires throughout our lifetime. So in that sense, I think it's been positive.
Yeah, definitely. I think the representation, like you're saying, is helpful. It was helpful for both of us through TikTok, and it was a lot of that, like seeing other people describe it and you being able to be like, wait a second, that's, how did you know? There's a lot of like, how did you know what was in my head? How can somebody know that? And it's like, oh, because that's what it is. That's what we're thinking. So I think, yeah, the representation, especially also the community, the way that like Instagram, like we can also go to events, know about events, those kinds of things. But in the same vein, for me, how the bad side of it is that other people can also see where those events are. Yeah. You know, people who may not, you know, who may wish harm or wish to do harm during those events. Yeah. And that's scary for sure, because it's kind of like, how do you keep a community, and how do you continue to reach out to your community without other people seeing it? Because people who are going to seek to do harm are going to look for those types of things. Yeah. And especially like, because a lot of people, it's a lot to put yourself out on the internet when you're like a quote unquote normal kind of person, I guess. And it's even more so when you're not, you know, the general quote unquote normal, you know. So putting that self out there, there's a sense of danger also, because if you don't, anybody on the street who may have seen your Instagram or comes across you and, oh, I've seen your Instagram, I know what you're about, and now you're face to face, and it's no longer just over the internet. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Not to put a damper on. No, I'm very pessimistic.
No, but it is true, and it's something that we do. I mean, we do have to be aware, because you know, unfortunately, we live in a world where there are hateful people out there, and
that's the stuff that scares me, is those kinds of things, because we've seen it too, like people who do awful things on the internet get their jobs called and stuff like that. You know, it's a thing where also if maybe you're LGBT and you're on the internet, and somebody can also call your job also when you're not trying to be out in your workplace. Yeah. Like those kinds of things. That's, to me, the bad side of it, which obviously there's always some bad with the good, unfortunately. But the same thing with like Instagram and your friends too. Like, you have to be careful who you're, you know,
the location you're posting.
Exactly. You have to be really smart about those kinds of things. And if you're going to be in that location at that time or later, those kinds of things. Even like people, I don't know, I've seen like, not even for our community, but people like getting their houses broken into, celebrities when they're not in town, stuff like that. So
that's true.
But I think the overall like good of it for like younger kids, because we see a lot more younger kids coming out, but I think it's more because a lot of people would say like, oh, it's like they think it's cool, which is stupid. Like what? Nobody's like having to hate thrown towards them for cool points. Like that's not how it works. It's like they're not excited to do that, you know? Like it's a tough thing to like tell your family, especially when there's so many people who are still like extremely bigoted to where they would have no problem throwing out their children. And that's crazy.
That's why when people say like, oh, it's a trend, that was said to me when I first came out. Oh, it's like trendy now to be gay. And not only is that invalidating, that is also like such a, like, you really think I would put myself in a place where I would want to be oppressed and like choose to be oppressed and like choose to be judged and looked down upon because of who I love. Like people really think that that's
just because it's cool, because it's trendy, cool. Right? It's trendy. Yeah.
No, fuck you. fuck you to that person that told me that, or that I heard said that about me. Yeah. Fuck you, bro. Fuck 12. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Just like, it's so, I hate that, because even that too, because if you want to take it further, them saying that to you, or them saying, like, I would be pissed also if somebody said it, because like, oh, you weren't like this before, all of a sudden you saw it on a TikTok. That's bullshit. That's not, it resonated with me because I already thought that way.
Exactly.
Like, and I think for a lot of like younger kids, like it resonates with them because they already feel that way.
Absolutely.
Like it's not just like this, it's not a change of, you know, if it is, I also think it's you exploring. If you're like, hey, I feel this way, and when you get older, maybe I don't feel this way. it's all about exploring it and seeing, and and if you're not sure, maybe you don't have to put yourself in a box. There's no box you have to put yourself into.
No, just do you. Be happy with like being yourself. And I know it's scary. It's scary, but it's also inspiring, because for me, I think another reason it took me a while to come out was because I would see my aunt go through the struggle she went through with being gay, and I didn't want to go through that.
Yeah.
And so for a long time I rejected those feelings because I didn't want to have to go through the same thing she did. And a lot of people don't think about that too. But then I go on TikTok and then I see all these people like having success in their queer relationship and being happy and like seeing queer love in a way that has never been depicted in society
anywhere.
like obviously you're not gonna think you have any other choice if you're not exposed to it.
Yeah.
If you're not, if it's like ignorance.
Yeah.
It's ignorance when it comes to if you're not aware of something, you're not going to be able to learn from it.
Exactly.
So you have to educate yourself. And it's great to educate yourself. And like, I fucking hate when bigoted people are like, I don't have pronouns. Like, you sound like a fucking moron. You sound like a fucking moron.
Yeah.
Yes, you do have fucking pronouns.
Yeah.
But
That's just ignorance because you don't know the language, English language, or whatever the heck it's just so stupid.
but that's because y'all choose to do that.
Well, and it's like, we really think you did something. It
Yeah.
doesn't really like...
You look like a fucking idiot. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it's just so frustrating that it's like, it has to be like you're so opposed to any other different type of lifestyle that you have to pull dumb shit like that, where you're like, I don't have pronouns. Like, okay. Because it's dumb, because I know that if I call you the wrong pronoun, it's going to be a problem.
Okay, you don't have pronouns? Okay, then all pronouns go.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so, yeah.
Then I'm gonna call you it. If you don't have pronouns.
Yeah. It's,
That thing over there. Anybody who doesn't have pronouns, I'm gonna tell you,
it's so frustrating. It's like,
if you're a bigot,
it's,
you are it.
but you do have them. It's just like, and if you don't, I mean, whatever, but like, it's so stupid.
It's so dumb.
It's so dumb.
But yeah, I think overall, for the most part, like if we're talking percentage wise, in my opinion, I think there's more pros than cons, because if we go back in time and like before social media and all those things, like everything was so hush hush, and like education when it came to topics in the LGBTQIA community, like they weren't accessible. So now they are. So in that sense, I think it is positive. But yes, obviously there is that truth that the con can be unfortunately hateful people.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is mostly positive too, because I mean, it's changed both of our lives also. So I think it's definitely positive, and it's a lot even for. And another reason I do think it's positive is because a lot of times when you're a kid and you're a teenager or whatever, even a young adult like us, adult.
I'm a young adult.
A young adult. I'm calling myself a young adult. Even when you're like that and your family isn't really willing to expose you to different ways of living, you have no, like, a lot of times, like, social media, those type of people, not that they become your family, but they become a sense of something you can relate to, that you, like, don't feel so alone anymore.
They become your safety.
Yeah. And, like, especially, like, say you make friends, like, obviously be safe when you're making friends, but if you make friends, those friends become your support system. And, like, the people who make you feel not so alone. And for a lot of, I say kids because I think it is a lot of kids, but even adults, because for a lot of kids, that's the difference between life and death.
Absolutely.
Like, for them, for sure.
Agreed.
So definitely, I think it's good in that way. I guess not bad, but the scary part of it is that people do wish to do people harm.
And I think it is also life-saving, because if, say, like, nobody knew, like, before all these terms, like, there's a transgender person, a non-binary person, and it's like, I feel this way. I feel different. I feel like I don't align with, like, the boys and girls in my class, in my classroom, my peers. I don't see myself in any of these people. Like, and, they're kind of lost in the sense of, like, who am I? it's good to have the awareness because of that. Because if they see somebody that they can relate to and they see themselves in somebody else, it can really help you mentally, and it validates your feelings. And like the power of validating your feelings is insane,
incredible.
So,
We even saw it with Zeta and Bernie like last episode. It's like they feel so much better knowing that it's knowing you're not crazy. It's knowing you're not driving yourself crazy with all these thoughts that are like, am I the only one? Am I the only one? Like, and that's how it was for a lot of the time with me too. I'm like, well, I don't know if this means it. Like I've been with Bernie for forever basically. So I'm like, but I still see pretty people, and like it's helpful to not be like, oh, that's what that is, to put a name to it, even though you don't always have to label yourself, but it's helpful to put a name to it. Yeah. Because otherwise you're like, you think you're crazy.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be, that's the beautiful part of our community. It's not black and white.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's like the whole, that's like the whole point.
That's the whole point. We're not black and white. There's no like little boxes like how society thrives on. For us, it's literally a spectrum of everything. That's why it's symbolized by rainbows and all different colors, all different shapes. Like that is the beauty of humanity, in my opinion, and that's why I think our community is the most beautiful community there is, because we are simply a spectrum of human beings who just are ourselves, and we're uniquely ourselves in our own way, and we can see ourselves in each other, but we could also feel, like we're uniquely who we are, and that is the beauty of our community. And I love that there's such a huge space for that in social media. There's such a big space when it comes to like all different branches of our community, and it's great. Yeah,
I like that too, that it's if you want to be in your box label in the community, you can be, and you don't have to be. And I've seen a lot of times like people don't really ask questions. It's kind of like
it just is.
It's not like, oh, you're dating this person this week and now you're dating this person, does that mean you're this? I've never really seen any of that, like, you have to define this for me, and like never. It's just like, oh, you're dating this person and now you're dating this other type of person, okay. And it's like, that's it. And
that's why I love the word queer, because I feel like queer doesn't just like to me, the word queer reminds me of a huge spectrum umbrella, because when you identify as a queer person, you're simply somewhere in the spectrum of some sort of queerness.
Yeah, definitely.
And that could be with your identity, that could be with your sexuality. And I think that's why it's such an important word that I'm so happy that we reclaimed.
Yeah.
And it means something so positive now, and something that's so important in our community.
Yeah.
Where it stands.
Yeah, definitely. Even that word was, an ugly word at a point in time.
Yeah.
And again, the good with the bad, turning it into good is very nice.
Yes.
I think.
People are proud to be queer.
Yes, queer. I see that. I much prefer that, because I know also too, I think for that, like, it's like a signal that's like, I'm queer, I don't really want to define myself, and it's kind of like okay,
you're
like,
subject to change.
Yeah. That's perfect. I love that. That was perfect, friend. I love it. Very nice.
Ooh. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. I like that. It's not like I don't have to define myself, or it's none of that like, well, we're in a queer space, what are you doing here? Explain yourself. It's not that.
Absolutely.
I love that. That's a much better feeling, because I've gotten that feeling before, like explaining the podcast and getting that look where, like, especially if I'm standing with my partner, if I'm standing with Bernie, like explaining the podcast and getting the look like, well, why are you here?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you're like asking me all these, you're asking me to like validate myself in front of you, or like prove I'm enough.
Yeah.
When it's like, no, we don't have to
You don't have to do shit.
We don't have to do any of that. It is what it is.
It is what it is. You still have your identity. Love it. It don't matter. It don't matter.
Subject to change.
Subject to change.
That was good. I'm so proud of you for that.
I'm going to copyright it.
You should.
Queer equals subject to change.
I love it. But yeah, I don't know. So I guess, yeah, I would say it's good, but not that it's those bad things are bad, but those bad things are scary. So you have to protect yourself out there. Don't put your location, don't type things like I'm going here, I'm going there. Be smart about stuff and be smart about the information you give out and put out the real information about your real life on social media.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And it sucks that we live in a world where you have to do that. It's really shitty, especially in like the climate that we're in right now.
Yeah.
And all the disastrous things happening in the world.
Yeah.
But I do believe coming together in a community does make us stronger. So it's really important to like find your people. It's really important to find your support system. And I guarantee you, if you fall under the queer spectrum, that you're gonna find your community. It's just a matter of looking for it and finding it, and we ride hard for each other, in my opinion. And I know that safety is a big factor. Safety was a big factor for me, and so I completely understand that aspect. Always make sure that you are going to be safe in whatever you do choose to do. I'm gonna be the first one to tell you that I never thought I would ever get to this place of feeling free and like feeling safe to come out. And I did, and I'm still here today. So I just want to spread the hope for anybody who's listening that there is hope for you to be yourself and to fully be happy and own your identity, own your sexuality, own the person that you are, and you will be happy one day.
Very nice. Yeah. Subject to change.
Subject to change.
I love it. Yeah, I guess that's wrap it up. We're both very tired today.
Yeah, we're both very tired today. And last week's episode was pretty long.
It was very long, yeah. You were coming off a long shift yesterday and a long day, and I'm coming off like 3 long shifts in a row.
Yeah, so this one will be a shorter one.
We got loopy.
Yeah, we got loopy, but I think short and sweet, but very impactful in my opinion.
Definitely, yeah. I think it's a good topic. Let us know if you have any other, not questions, but input on it. Like, what do you think? Is it social media all bad or all good?
Yeah, share it with us.
Tonight on Dateline.
And do you agree? Subject to change.
Yeah, do you agree? I love it.
All right, I guess we'll do socials.
Yeah, please follow us on Instagram. It's One Thing Queer, and my personal Instagram is SpexRayX.
And my personal Instagram is at Jenny Lynn Bouton. And if you guys would like to follow me on my witchy page, it's at Celestial Light Witch on TikTok and on Instagram. I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers on TikTok. So if you're on TikTok, go check it out. I do little collective readings. And if you're in the Los Angeles area this weekend, come see me on Saturday, February 11th at Brujita Market. And go follow Brujita Market on Instagram as well.
Yeah, and if you want to be a guest or have any questions or need big sibling advice, email us at onethingqueer@gmail.com. Follow us on TikTok, One Thing Queer Podcast. We have made a plan to actually make TikToks, so those will be happening. We have made the plan. We will be doing it.
Yes.
But yeah, follow us there. There's some old ones that are hilarious, so those are fun if you want to watch those in the meantime.
Yep. And be sure to like rate and share this podcast with anybody you love or anybody you think would benefit from our podcast. Anybody who's into like astrology, spirituality, queer shit.
Yeah.
We talk about it all. So if this is a niche for you or a friend, share it with someone you love because that would really help us out. We're really trying to grow the podcast this year, and we want to be able to like provide merch and like do little pop-ups or just grow as a podcast. So if you guys can do that, that would really, really mean a lot to us. And that would be the best way you can pay us for, this lovely entertainment that's free 99.
Definitely. But all right. Well, I guess we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Music by Jacody Lamone. Produced by Kelsey Wren and Jenny Baton. Edited by Jenny Baton.